Less than 24 hours ago, Memphis Mayor Paul Young fired the entire MATA board. This comes as the transit company has been the center of controversy after a deficit of more than $60 million this year alone. Not to mention cuts to bus routes and even layoffs. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of ABC24. I'm Kevin McNamara. This change in leadership has been the big break one of the bus union presidents tells our Desmond Nugent they've been looking for, and he joins us in the studio. So Desmond, what are they saying about this move?
Change, that's the only word that comes to mind from ATU Local 713 President Harrison Curry. He tells me this is the game changer they've been hoping for. Mayor Young has now replaced 9 MATA board members in a move described as, quote, a clean slate. Take a look at this initial draft report that's on your screen. The company Transpro discovered in an assessment MATA's bus service is less efficient and more expensive to operate compared to peers. Based on the report, Transpro recommends MATA focus on improving operational performance for its customers. Curry says the previous MATA board was not transparent and lacked communication throughout the year. Now he's hoping this new board can turn things around.
If they would have got on top of this sooner, we would probably seen the change without any layoffs. We never did get a lot of the answers that we were asking for. So when you don't get the answers that you're asking for, that is a nervous time.
Tonight at 10 on ABC24, one former trolley operator shares how she's in survivor mode and how she's optimistic about getting her job back with a new board leading the way. Kevin.
All 3 recently convicted Memphis cops found guilty in the Tyree Nichols case, filing new motions. On Friday, lawyers for Justin Smith and Tadarius Bean requested the judge acquit their clients on their convictions of obstructing justice, just 1 week after a jury found them guilty in the federal trial. Smith's attorney argued the charges were not proven in witness testimony and that it was often contradictory. Bean's attorney argues that because the jury found him not guilty on counts 1 through 3, the court should set aside the guilty verdict for count 4. Demetrius Haley is the only one of the 3 ex-Memphis cops who was convicted on multiple counts in the Tyree Nichols case, and he is still in federal custody right now as we speak. But a federal judge revoked Haley's bond and ordered that he remain in custody until his sentencing in January. Court records show Haley's attorneys are appealing the judge's decision. Haley was found guilty of deliberate indifference and deprivation of rights resulting in bodily injury. He was also convicted of conspiracy to commit obstruction and obstruction. Tonight, a search continues for a man in connection with a fatal shooting in southeast Memphis. Police are asking for help locating 34-year-old Travius Fox, who remains at large. You see him there on your screen now. On September 11th, the man was found with multiple gunshot wounds on Ridge Hill Drive. He later died at the hospital. A text on the victim's phone led detectives to 19-year-old Charles Cox, who was arrested after a brief chase and admitted to the shooting. Cox is now charged with second-degree murder and possession of a prohibited weapon. If you or someone you know knows anything about Fox's whereabouts, contact Crime Stoppers at the number listed on your screen. Switching gears to weather now, I'm joined by meteorologist Corey Smith for a look at the forecast. Corey, it's been a beautiful day today, huh?
Really beautiful, a little bit warm, I will say, for this time of the year.
You know what? A little bit too much, but it could be worse, huh?
I would say overall, though, like you said, not too bad out there.
Yeah.
And very gorgeous with a lot of sunshine tomorrow. We might be getting close to 90 degrees. Let's take a look at what you can expect as you head into your Sunday. Overall, warm, above average. That's the theme as you head out to the end of the weekend. We're at 85 today in Memphis as you go into your Sunday, getting close to 90 degrees. Our records this time of the year are in the 90s. So this is some abnormally warm weather, but a big shock to the system on the way as we head into next week. Look, 89 our high temperature tomorrow. 69 on Tuesday. We could be heading into the low 40s as we get into next week. So let's talk about what you can expect as we go throughout the next 7 days. This is the upper atmosphere, and up to the north, notice all this cooler air. This is what we call a trough, and this is going to start to dip down as we get into next week, and that means cooler temperatures. Our first real shot of fall air as we get into this week. I'm expecting temperatures below average throughout the rest of the next 7 days. after tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the one warm day. So looking ahead, not much going on as we head into your Sunday. High pressure is still in place, but here comes a cold front. As you get into the later portions of your Sunday, we should be dry, not expecting any rain with that. But behind this front, much cooler weather and high pressure is going to build in. That's going to lead us to some pretty quiet weather over the next 7 days. No rain chances to speak of in your forecast going forward, but feeling like fall, temperatures are going to really start to drop. And you'll see hour by hour as we go into tomorrow, we're starting off mild once again. Temperatures are going to be sitting in the low 60s here. You can see right around 7 a.m. As we get into the afternoon, we are warming up in a hurry. Temperatures in the upper 80s. We could see close to 90 south of the state line here in the North Mississippi. So definitely a warm afternoon. But then that cold front moves in. Look at our low temperatures as we get into your Monday morning. We're in the mid to low 50s. So already starting to cool off pretty quickly here as you go into the beginning of next week. So enjoy that warmer weather. If you're a fan of that warmer weather tomorrow afternoon, 87 around 2 p.m., 88 degrees, plenty of sunshine right around 4 o'clock. And then as you go forward, things really start to change. So a high of 89, mostly sunny conditions for your Sunday. As you go into Monday, we are cooling off quite a bit. 69 will be your high temperature. We're at 47 to start your Tuesday morning with a high of 66. 42 degrees Wednesday morning. I'm not expecting frost at this time, but this is by far the coolest weather we've seen so far this season. High of 65, and then we are starting to warm up a little bit as we get into the end of the forecast here. Plenty of sunshine, though, and still below average as you get into next weekend.
Over in Arkansas, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has announced she's conducting a farm tour this week. According to her website, Sanders will visit farms and industries that directly support the state of Arkansas's #1 industry, agriculture. That tour will take place Monday and Tuesday and will cover the River Valley and the Delta area. On the second day of the tour, Sanders will be joined by U.S. Senator John Boozman, who's also a member of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry. Today in North Haven, the Shelby County Fire Department and the Chief Clarence Cash Jr. Firefighter Foundation held a smoke detector drive for the community. Residents were able to come out and learn about fire prevention and safety, as well as schedule an appointment for the fire department to come out and install a new smoke detector or inspect a current one to make sure it's up to date. The department came to North Haven as it is one of the most underserved communities in the county. And there was even a fireperson drill, food, and of course, face painting.
With construction and furniture in houses nowadays, fire is really fast. So early detection with a smoke alarm is key. And so we want to make sure that people have smoke alarms installed in their house, make sure they test them monthly, and make sure they replace them after 10 years.
The foundation also debuted a blessing box, which will be stocked with non-perishable food items for the community to take as they need. All right, check this out. Earlier today, Paint Memphis returned to its 2017 location to redo some of their older murals and create some new ones. The 10th annual Paint Memphis event held at Lamar Avenue featured over 100 artists painting different murals, along with vendors, food trucks, and even a mobile version of the iconic Overton Park shell. Officials from Paint Memphis say one of their goals is to bring the love and experience of painting to those who may not typically get the chance to do so.
One of the things that is our mission is to give access to art to everyone, regardless of their socioeconomic background or their geography or their race or ethnicity or anything. And part of that in Memphis is that we have a lot of people in a lot of neighborhoods who would never go into a gallery or into a museum, but we want them to be able to see art on the streets. And so we bring it to the streets.
Paint Memphis began back in 2015 on Chelsea Avenue, and since then, it's been held on Martin Luther King Boulevard and even downtown on B.B. King. This is the second event held on Lamar Avenue. Meanwhile, the Memphis Tigers have been picked to finish second in the 2024-25 AAC preseason men's basketball coaches poll. U of M received 4 first-place votes in the poll, putting them just behind UAB, who came in first with 9. 4 team members received preseason honors as well. P.J. Haggerty and Tyrese Hunter were named first-team all-conference, while Colby Rogers was named to the second team, and Jared Harris was named preseason freshman of the year. Aircraft giant Boeing back in the news as they plan to conduct massive layoffs in the coming months. The aircraft maker said yesterday that it plans to lay off 10% of its workers. It's about 17,000 people, including executives, managers, and employees. All this comes as the company is dealing with a strike that's shut down factories in the Seattle area.
It's going to hurt a lot of people, hurt a lot of families, and a lot of people are going to be out of jobs and out of work.
Boeing has about 170,000 employees worldwide, including in Washington, and the vast majority are in the U.S. The CEO says the layoff is an attempt to cut costs while refocusing resources and not spreading the company too thin. A new study showing humans may be hitting the upper limit of life expectancy. Scientists looked at data from 1990 to 2019 in countries where people live the longest. Experts say no matter how much life-advancing technology there is out there in the world, aging just gets in the way. The U.S. doesn't even rank in the top 40, leaving plenty of room for U.S. life expectancy to grow within 100 years, according to scientists. But on the bright side, a new report from last month shows inflation is slowing down. The report has inflation easing, with prices up 2.4% year over year. That's actually the lowest increase since February 2021. Rates peaked in 2022 at 9%, and business analysts are pointing to the grocery stores, where prices are rising slower than overall inflation, but some items have seen huge increases, including eggs and ground beef. McDonald's has some beef with its meatpackers, alleging they've colluded to inflate the price of beef. The fast food giant filed a federal complaint against the big four of the meatpacking industry, which includes Tyson and JBS. McDonald's accused the companies of anti-competitive measures, like collectively limiting supply to boost prices to a legally inflated amount. Neither of the meatpacking companies have publicly responded to the lawsuit, but those four companies have faced federal probes and allegations of price fixing in the past. And bringing things back home to Memphis before we go, Memphis native and rap superstar Glorilla has just released her debut studio album, Glorious. The album was released just yesterday through Yo Gotti's collective music group. The record's cover art shows Glorilla wearing gold hoops, earrings, and embracing the 90s R&B influences. You can see it there now. The 15-track album features guest verses from the likes of Lotto, T-Pain, Megan Thee Stallion, and even Kirk Franklin. Well, that's all we have for you here on this special edition of ABC24 News. Make sure you stay up after all the football is over, because we will be there for you for your late news after the game.